Today, I want to talk about visualization. To me, this is one of the most powerful tools and ways that you can improve your game without adding extra stress or repetitions from a workload standpoint. The more you can engage all of your senses, the better. So the more that you can not only visualize in your head, but also try to get a grasp of the feel of the weather, what you're wearing, the smell, all of these things that are going on, the better you can create this vision in your mind, the better. Because now you're going to be able to actually feel like you're in the situation that you're trying to visualize and that you're trying to prepare for. Oftentimes when people think about visualization, they're thinking about visualizing success, which is absolutely great. I think more times than not, we do want to make sure we're visualizing success, especially when this is a part of our pre-pitch routine and we're trying to see in our head ourselves executing the pitch and the ball doing exactly what we want it to do and the batter responding exactly the way we want them to respond. But another way that you can visualize, and this might sound a little weird, but I think visualizing yourself failing is actually really important as well. And the reason for this is because we're not going to be perfect in the game. There's going to be times where we give up hits, we walk guys, we just don't have feel for our pitches, etc. We're not going to always feel perfect. And usually when people are visualizing, they're only visualizing perfection. Everything is going perfectly their way. They're throwing their pitches exactly where they want them to go. The batter is swinging and missing, or the fielders are making perfect plays. But that's just not the reality. So what I would challenge you to do is visualize yourself failing at times, but make sure that you're also envisioning yourself overcoming those failures. So let's just say you fall behind a guy 2-0. Maybe you come back and you induce early contact and you get a ground ball. Maybe you give up a double in the gap and then you respond by continuing to attack the zone. Maybe your defenders make 2 or 3 errors behind you and you don't let that affect your mentality and your aggression and you don't try to do too much, but instead you continue to attack with your best stuff and take it one pitch at a time. That is the reality of pitching. That is the reality of baseball. You're not going to be perfect. You're going to have misplays behind you, and you're not always going to execute your pitches perfectly. So the more that you can adapt and the faster you can adapt to those challenges, the better. So I would challenge you to envision that as well, not just the success. Something that you can do, a way that you can strategize this is the day before a game, stand on a game mound if possible. Because when you're on the game mound, you're going to be able to envision your surroundings a little bit better. It's more of an open space compared to the bullpen. So it just gives you more of that game-like feel. From there, you're going to simulate your first couple innings of the game. I want you to visualize everything. The batter, the umpires, the fans, the fielders, everything. What is the crowd saying? What about the dugout? Engage as many senses as you can to make it as real as you can. Now let your imagination run wild. Without being too aggressive with your delivery, because we don't want to, have full arm speed when we're actually making a throw, but just do dry throws at, half effort, not being too aggressive with the arm. Visualize the ball traveling to home plate exactly the way you want it to, or where your intention is, and then envision what the batter does in response. What does the umpire do? Maybe the umpire misses a call, because that happens in the game. Maybe you throw a pitch right where you want it to, and he just misses it and calls it a ball instead. Visualize success and failure. So it's not like we're doing just failure. We're not just doing success, but try to make it as realistic as possible and making sure that you are putting yourself in some challenging situations that you have to overcome mentally to prepare yourself. So this is just one example of how you can do this. Believe me, I want you to visualize as much success as possible, but I also want you to be prepared mentally for every other situation a game might present. There are times where you will only want to visualize success, like I said earlier, with pre-pitch routines. When I'm on the mound and I'm getting my sign, I don't want to have any negative thoughts during the game, during a pitch, that might distract me from executing my spot. So we want to make sure that we are doing this at the appropriate time and not doing this during the game where we want to make sure we're instilling confidence and attacking with our best stuff. And truthfully, failure is a strong word because these aren't ever failures. I want you just to not be seeing things going perfectly your way. Because once again, there's things out of your control that you might do perfectly well. You might execute the pitch and the umpire misses a call. You might execute a pitch and the batter hits it, or the fielders misplay it. So failure isn't the word necessarily that I should be using. It's more of seeing yourself overcoming obstacles and things not going perfectly. So make this as realistic as possible when you're envisioning and when you're doing some of this. And the more resilient you can make yourself, the better. We want to be adaptable, and we want to make sure that we are able to handle all these different situations that are going to come our way. So that's all I have for you today. Just wanted to give you some ideas of how you can work on some of these things away from the field. I'm always getting questions from players about how they can get better. And, there's only so many throws you can make. So being able to work on the mental side of the game can give you a tremendous advantage moving forward. Before I let you go, I want to make sure I let you go about my summer training program in Scottsdale, Arizona. It's going to be for 10 weeks long from May 27th until August 3rd. We're going to be diving into whatever your weaknesses are, whether it's velocity, command, pitch design, getting stronger in the weight room. We're going to be creating a detailed plan that's going to help you accomplish these goals this summer and prepare you for the fall at your high school or at your college.